Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die.
Okay, so here's the turnaround phrase of play that funky music. The guitar and bass play this riff together, and there's obviously the vocals over the top for the lay down and play that funky music till you die line. So the riff is quite low, it's on the E and the A strings of the guitar, and I'm going to start it using my third finger. And the pattern I'm going to use here with the fingers is really quite strict, because all the notes, if you follow this, all the notes lay under the fingers quite nicely, because this riff is a little bit of a finger twister. So it starts 7th fret on the A string, going down to the 5th fret on the A string, both picked. Then third finger is going to jump up to the low E string, and he's going to play 7th fret. And I'm going to return to my first finger on the 5th fret of the A string. So far. From there, I'm going to go down to the low E string again, 7th fret. So I'm just going to attach that on. Moving on from there, down to the 5th fret on the same string, and then back to the 7th fret again, both picked. And once we reach that 7th fret on the low E string, again we're going to kind of rest on there. That note is a little bit longer than the others, so I'll do it until that point. So I call that kind of the first half of this, and the second half will be going 5th fret on the low E to the 7th fret, back to the 5th fret, down to the 3rd fret, open, and the turnaround finishes with, on the D string, open E to a D note. Open D to an E. So from the start. And all those notes are picked. So with the counting, I'm going to count this in quavers, in 8th notes. Hopefully you can hear where the beats do and don't line up. So nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And now without the counting. The important thing here is that all the notes are picked, and you really map out those finger moves, third to first, which finger takes which note. It's going to make it much easier to play. Also, when the riff finishes on that D string, open D to E, you immediately play the low E string to start the main riff again. So if I just do that nice and quickly. And it's back to the main riff that we've already covered, and that's going to go on to carry on the song for the next verse.